And honouring the great Dick O'Brien and a fitting tribute. He was very humbled, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And it's great to see that. This is what I love about football clubs, remembering their own and honouring their own. And what a great occasion for the O'Brien family as a whole.
Yeah. And, we'll get Kyle to have a look. The toss has been held, and the toss of the coin of Sting fellas, because it looks like Lawton's going to line up in the ruck for Mansfield. And Brereton. So Brown at the forward line.
Big Brownie.
Siren sounds. Brereton wins the tap down for Euroa. It's quickly set upon. What an absolute contrary. Who saw this coming? Lawton in the ruck.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. So Lawton, up he goes. He does win the first tap down. Sharks it straight down to Reekers. Reekers gets a left foot kick inside 50 for Mansfield. The coach comes out. Brown is tackled. He manages to get the hands to it. Scrubby little kick inside 50. Bouncing ball. The Magpies should have it summed up in the back line. And who is it? Hayes. Hayes flips out the hand pass, gets it to Garside. Garside scrubby kick goes along the boundary. Here is the Paradzai. Paradsi's hand pass can't stay in, but a free kick is going to go his way. And Paradzai with the free kick for Euroa. Round 14, match of the day here at Euroa. And the full forward for the Mansfield Eagles is lined up in the ruck. Something of a surprise. We did not see that. Paradzai now, half back, decides to go across the face of goal.
What's happening here? What's he doing?
Right across the face of goal. He takes two bounces. This is how wide he's gone. And finally he kicks out long and wide. But Klingen's there for the Eagles. Socket off the ground. Heritage over the line. Boundary throw in.
Benny Harrison going 50 for the Euroa Footy Club today. Good tackle from him. Good start.
Yep, absolutely.
And starting down back, and he can go to full forward, but he's starting down back. That's where he played the majority of the game back in round 3 in the back line for Euroa against Mansfield.
And Lawton. Brereton wins the tap down. Marnie's sharked it. He gets it again. He gets a left foot kick inside 50 to Mansfield. Here comes Brown for the Eagles. He hand passes backwards in out of bounds. Yep. Gee, was Reekers had everything in front of him, was going to have a shot for goal, but he ran out of ground.
Seemed to have an eternity coming into the back line, the Magpies.
Yes, especially going across goal. Brown fists it inside 50. Comes out, there's a scrubby hand pass. Is going to be chopped off there by Gleeson, although a quick little kick at goal is fisted through for a rush behind, I'll call it, fellas, a rush behind.
Yeah.
And that will be the first score on the board. The Eagles have landed their first point, and Euroa still yet to score on the Shepparton Optical Services scoreboard, with thanks to them. And JD Hayes is going to retrieve the ball and kick it in, Kyle.
Bit of niggle out there, big Brownie. He's a big man.
Yeah, he's massive. He stands out on a football field, doesn't he, Kyle?
Yep.
Yeah,
booming voice as well. You can hear him from a mile.
Does not take a backward step. So getting the ball back from the Euroa town end takes seemingly an eternity, but it was only about 20 seconds. And JD Hayes has the ball in the goal square. Runs on, left foot kick. Nice one to go over the top of Giobi. Yeah, it was. Paradzai manages to pounce on it, but his kick only goes a metre. Lawton mops up, sidesteps, hand passes across the ground to Brown. This is Ross Brown, and Ross Brown runs out of ground on the wing, and a throw in to take place.
Good pick up from the big man Lawton. I'm not sure about that Potsy with him in the ruck.
Well, we'll soon see, won't we? If Brown kicks a couple of goals up forward while he does, then it might just be the tonic. As we mentioned, Lawton hasn't had a lot of goals in the last month or so. Sometimes you need a change.
Yep.
Just on Lawton, he's very good for a big man below his knees, Kyle.
Yep.
He was.
He is.
He is, and he was just then. So up they go as a stalemate and a free kick. It was against Lawton. It'll go to the big man Brereton, who wastes no time, gives it off to Hayes. Hayes left
lovely
kick is a beautiful one to find Ivel. Ivel quickly plays on, gives it to Gleeson. Gleeson's kick is going to drop short, and it should be picked off. It was, and it's going to be Mansfield mark in the back line. I think it might be Bartlett, and no, it's not Bartlett. It might be Rose. So Rose's kick, though, it's picked off, and across half forward, it's a Magpie mark. So they'll go inside 50 for the second time in this first quarter, or will they? No, across the ground they go.
Noise off.
And Gleeson was
lucky.
Jade Gleeson, it is the number 8 for Euroa. He kicks inside 50. Out they come. Oh, mark over the top has been taken by Frost. And Frost takes the mark.
Big Frosty.
Magpies. Big Frosty. Braden Frost. And he's got a bit of frost on top too by the look of that. As Braden Frost lines up for the first deliberate shot on goal in this match.
Yeah, nice mark. And this will be a great start for him. Inside 5.
Yes, inside 5 minutes we've been playing, and in comes Frost. Braden Frost, who kicked from 30 metres. It's a left foot kick. Is a ripper.
Dead-eye.
Straight through the middle goes Frost, and the Magpies have the first on the board.
Yep. Looking okay early, the Maggies, and that's a really good start. Not the best looking set shot routine or action.
Had the desired effect, though.
But it does not matter, Potsy, because if you can slot them,
exactly right.
You're on your way.
That was sort of against the trend. We probably saw Euroa having more of the time in the forward, probably 4 minutes, and then inside 90 seconds, 2 inside 50s, and a goal to the Magpies. So against the flow somewhat. Lawton and Brereton, neither can win it down. It's in the bog in the middle. Marnie soccers off the ground, and it nearly travels inside 50. Well picked up there, but the Magpies have some of the numbers. Coming out to meet it there is Varley. Varley's kick's not going really anywhere because chasing it down is German. German, feeds it back to a teammate who slipped over at the crucial stage. It does go backwards, though. Lawton's kick's a shocker. We just wrapped him up, but the Eagles still have the numbers.
They're holding the ball.
A free kick. So, yep, the Eagles did have the numbers, and it will be Brereton with a great tackle to get the free kick.
Like this bloke.
Yes.
Yeah, real improved ruckman.
He has got a lot of mobility for a man his size. Passes a good one. Finds Ivel. This is James Ivel. Ivel gives to Bamford. Bamford inside 50, but nicely chopped off there in the last line of defence. Eagles' defence did well on that occasion. So the kick across the face to Rose. Rose is right in the goal square at the Sevens Creek end. Kicks a nice little one to Hayes. This is Jaden Howes in the back pocket for Mansfield. Howes will play on now. Runs a few steps and then kicks to the wing, looking for Brown. Brown was double-teamed, though. It came backwards to Herridge. Herridge gave it off now to Gardner. Gardner now kicks to the centre of the oval here, looking for a mark and finding it in the player there in Bartlett. Bartlett, it is. Might have been Reekers. In fact, it was Klingon. And hand pass across now. Marnie it was. He was tackled, beset upon by Magpies. And a ball up to take place. 49 metres out from the Mansfield goal.
That kick's really important. If it mucks up like it nearly did, it's a turnover and you're up the other end.
Yeah, he kicked that like a true backman, didn't he, Kyle?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's Varley. Varley from the stoppage. Clears the ball for the Magpies. Free kick, whistle on play. Go the Magpies' way. Advantage played to Giobbi. Giobbi, I should say, had the Giobbi in front of him and legged. And he gets a free kick. So this will have him kick it somewhere inside. Look who's lurking at the back there. Frost again.
He wants it.
Gee, he should have been quicker than
Great kick.
It wasn't a bad option. It went out to the trotter direction. He shrugs the tackle. Has to go backwards now. This will allow the Eagles a soccer off the ground. Wasn't clearing enough, though. The Magpies with the ball on centre wing. Comes across now to the player there in Ivel. Ivel's kick is another shocking underground pass. Comes to Trotter. Trotter wheels onto the left. Inside 50, chopped off. And a mark to Brown. Ross Brown in defence for the Eagles. So Brown now, right foot. Comes across. Fisted at the last line there by the Magpies, but it's taken by Marnie.
Here's a go.
This one's
one-on-one.
One-on-one duel inside 50. Trotter has the goods. He mops up. Last line of defence for Mansfield. Although the kick there by Hill, by Frost, was not a good one. It's taken over the line, but a free kick. A free kick going Mansfield's way. What was that for, Kai?
It wasn't deliberate, was it?
Surely, no. It was something else. They don't pay deliberate. And
I've seen it.
And this
not often, though.
This will be Jacob Howes, wearing the long sleeves for the Eagles, tight in the pocket, very tight angle, will kick from about 45. The kick on its way is a good one. He bent that back beautifully, rode it on the breeze from deep in the pocket, and he gets the first goal to the Eagles.
Nice one. Nice finish from him.
Wasn't it? Just great allowance of the breeze as well.
Yep. Just guided it in, stats man.
And they needed it because they had a couple of repeat forward 50 entries early and didn't make the most of their opportunities. Get it in forward 50 after some time being in the Euroa forward line and a goal result. So they really needed that one, the Eagles. I know that sounds bizarre early, but I was getting a bit worried that they weren't hitting the scoreboard.
Lawton to full forward now. Brown in his customary role, the captain coach of the Eagles. Oh, he went up, contested. Oh, big hit. Free kick. Went the man. I don't know what happened there because only Brown went for the ruck contest. And it was Gleeson who came in and tackled. Firstly, it's Howes inside 50 to Lawton. And he plays on and kicks the goal.
Hang on,
they're bringing it back.
A whistle. Umpire at centre-half forward has picked out a free kick.
This is your roll ball.
This will be disallowed, this goal.
Yes.
This will be disallowed, and what was a seemingly dead-set certain goal to Mansfield is now a free kick at centre-half back to Euroa.
Gee, that's... Oh, they hurt those ones.
Don't they what? So it's Bryce Frost who will be the recipient. This ball takes a long time to get back over the...
Yeah, it does, doesn't it, boys?
Gave it a big roost, I think.
It could be some long quarters today.
Could be.
Surely they have a spare ball.
New balls, please.
Yeah, surely it's easier to run a spare ball out to the spot. But no, we'll wait. Great start to this game on the Shepparton Optical Services scoreboard. It's Euroa 1 straight goal. Mansfield 7 points, 1-1-7. So a 1-point ball game. And Bryce Frost with the free kick. Gives it off to Trotter. Trotter now runs through half back and then kicks inside as a poor one because Rikas chops it off for Mansfield. So the Eagles will get a chance to atone. They kick inside 50, looking for the high flyers. Lawton was there, mopped up, quick kick at goal.
Got it.
Across the face.
No.
And out of bounds.
Jeez, I had a look at him. I thought he was celebrating there. But
was Gardner
out in the full.
The hurried ball was half a chance. Oh, here's a scrubby little kick, well mopped up by Panuccio, but it'll go in the Brown direction. Brown and Frost, they battle it out. It comes to ground, mopped up by Trotter. Trotter gives it off to Paradzai, slipping over when he shouldn't have there at the crucial time was Hill, but he gets his kick. Inside 50, McKernan. It goes now to Gleeson, shows a bit of the ball to his opponent, and
Throw it in.
I thought he might have pinged him.
Got some pace, Jacob Gleeson, didn't he?
He was showing a bit of candy there. Might have been Lairising a bit, Kyle. You wouldn't have done that today.
No, full forward. Don't do that.
No, absolutely not. McKernan's kick inside 50. He's going to be chopped off on the last line of defence and actually carried through by Williams. Lockie Williams for the Eagles takes a rush behind. 1-1-7 apiece. And, yeah, that's right, 1-1-7 apiece.
Yep.
And we've been playing about 12 minutes into this first term thanks to Shepparton Optical Services. Frost flew high, couldn't claim the mark. Brown was there at ground level. The big man doing it all today for Mansfield. The kick upside, half forward, comes down to the player there in Gardner. Gardner's bumped off the ball because Ivel did well.
That's a great tackle, Lawton.
Holding the ball.
Big Lawton. Oh, he wants to go on with it. No, he's going to go back on the mark.
Sometimes he just wants to play on a little too quickly, doesn't he, Kyle?
Yes.
And kick was chopped off. It was chopped off nicely. Gleeson gets it across now to Ivel. Ivel now to Panuccio. Frost was there. They left it for each other, but it will be a free kick to go the way of Gleeson. No.
Very lucky there.
Yes, it is Gleeson, and Maxi Gleeson with the ball. Gleeson gives it off now, finds his brother there in Jaden Gleeson. Big long kick though, but it was fisted down by Howes inside the middle of the ground here at Memorial Oval. It's Klingon with the ball. He hand passes underground, puts Marnie under all sorts of pressure, but Marnie comes up to the task. Good hand pull, gives it off now to Klingon again. Not a very good Marnie under all sorts of pressure. Tackled and crunched. Trotter came in. Free kick. Umpire said free kick Eagles.
Yeah, it was. Marnie dumped and then his head ridden into the turf after it, late.
He was put under some pressure.
Marnie's season stats, man, hasn't been the greatest from him. He's got really... We know what he can do. Is it 50 metres?
It appears
Yep.
Like it is. It is. It's a 50-metre penalty.
Yep.
And so...
Marnie's got it. It's just on Marnie. He hasn't had the greatest year, Statsman.
Yeah, he's been a representative, of course, of Vic Country last week and in the interleague, but I don't think he's had a great year, not this season anyway. He was the best and fairest winner at the club in 2017. I thought he had a ripping last season as well, but he returned the form a little bit last round.
Goal to Marnie. Directly in front, sitter. And that's a costly one. Discipline not the best from the Maggies there. Potsy.
No, and this is a good game in the balance at the moment on the Shepparton Optical Services scoreboard. We're halfway through this first term, and Mansfield 2 goals 1-13, lead Euroa 1-1-7. So 1 goal difference here, and game on.
Yeah,
game on, Kyle.
Yeah, it is. And what happened there? He got tackled, and then the old head rub into the dirt. Umpire seen it. Who was in the 50.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I'm not having that. And there must have been a bit of lip service as well to give the 50. Goal to Marnie.
Must have been. Ball's back in the centre. Brown will go up this time contested. Brereton's there this time. I don't know what happened at the last clearance, but the Eagles, though, with the numbers. Marnie's in there. Will sock her off the ground. He does. This is a scatter ball coming inside 50. Eagles' way. Another quick little scrubby kick will go in the benefit of Howes. Howes tries to flip it over to Lawton, but Trotter was up to the task. Well done, Trotter. He clears the ball, comes out now to the player in Garside. Garside gives it to Panuccio. Panuccio's kick, but chopped off by Brown. And Big Brown for Mansfield. No, it's a free kick the other way. He might have said hands in the back. I don't know why. He was towering over his opponent. So it will be Varley. Brereton with the free kick, gives it to Varley right below our commentary position. 6 points the difference. The Eagles lead. The kick up towards half forward. JD Hayes sets himself. At the back, though, was the Max Gawn lookalike. And I'm talking about Brent Rose.
Well, just on Rose, he's not as tall as Maxi Gawn. He's actually a ginger, Max Gawn. He's got the beard and looks a dead ringer for Maxi Gawn, old Rosie.
And I believe he played rugby league back in the day as well. So he's a fierce tackler, is Brent Rose. Of course, he came across from Coral Rubber Glen.
Rightio. Boundary throw-in comes spinning back into play. Umpire said, can't separate you, and we will have a ball up or a throw up. And so Brereton and Brown, Gleeson in there working hard, gives it to Maxi Gleeson.
Jeez, that's
and pass to
easy.
Panuccio to Brereton. Brereton on the outside of the boot, and it's chopped off Brown, defensive 50. So Brown goes across the face, dangerous, but it was okay for Christopher, whose kick into the middle of Memorial Oval is chopped off now by Frost. Frost gives it across now to Harrison. Benny Harrison's kick just sits up a little bit, and it's chopped off by Chisholm. Chisholm with the ball for the Eagles, goes across to Rose, and Rose at centre-half back can slow it down. Good little kick. Finds German. German switches it right across to our commentary position of Howes. Howes goes long to no one really at all, just to vacant territory on half forward where the Eagles will chop it off, but it asks a lot of the kick. Panuccio does well. Panuccio mops it up, comes down now to Gleeson. Gleeson goes backwards. The kick now, getting across the numbers. 3-on-1, the Eagles had the numbers. Oh, Brown got hit hard by Varley. Gee, it was a head-high tackle, but he rode it well. Player taken to ground.
How was that not a free kick to Brown? Jeez.
Cannot work
he's ducked his head and the bloke's nearly rammed his...
he rode it, though. Probably because
back.
Brown rode it so well, it almost like he didn't flinch, so the umpire said, I'm not paying it. Mansfield with the numbers. Howes across half-back. Goes backwards. They're under a bit of pressure. Great smother. And out of bounds.
Yeah.
Deep in the forward pocket, left forward pocket.
Good game.
For Euroa. Great game. If you've just joined us, it's 6 points the difference. Mansfield leading Euroa 2-1-13 to 1-1-7. Ball spinning back into play. Right forward pocket for Euroa. Comes down to ground. Gleeson has a quick hurried shot for goal. And Gleeson gets his first and Euroa's second.
Yeah.
Jacob Gleeson.
Lovely goal, really, from a boundary throw-in or a ball up, a clearance goal. They are very hard to find, Statsman, when you got your mids doing that. He's a star, Jacob Gleeson. Really, really like how he plays his footy. Just a real tough nut as well.
And just around goal, he's just a superb finisher and has been throughout the journey for the Euroa Football Club.
Yep.
He has had a lot of it, and he's been very prominent. Started in the centre and has been going really well, Jacob Gleeson. Scores are tied up. 2-1-13 apiece. 20 minutes in on the Shep Optical Services scoreboard. And Big Brown wins the ball. They're doing well out of the centre. Comes down to German. German's kick, though, is chopped off by Maxie Gleeson. So Max Gleeson with the ball goes out towards centre wing.
That's hard
dumbing
ball.
a couple of tackles was Jaden Gleeson, and he's holding the ball. So Eagles with the ball. It'll be Murray. No, it won't be Guy Murray. He gives it to Rose. Rose with the free kick. You mentioned he was a good tackler, Stats Man, and he won that one. The Eagles, the Magpies chop it off, though.
Big Brownie.
Big Brown at centre half back. Gee, he's not going to get any shorter. Goes across to Rose on half back. So left half back. Brent Rose for the Eagles. Kicks it in the Marnie direction. Fisted over the line by Gleeson. Maxie Gleeson. And a boundary throw in to take place. Just about into time on in this first term. Scores are all tied up. An entertaining game. Our match of the round. We've got the close one here at Memorial Oval. And a boundary throw in. Centre wing.
Early days, you can see the dominance of Brown as a big ruckman. He wins another one.
Yep. But it's sharked by Hayes. JD Hayes gets one to Panuccio. Panuccio's kick inside 50. Giobi, not quite on the third, fourth attempt. Can't quite mark. Taken to ground. Pack set on the ground, and Bamford just a bit disappointed he couldn't tear away with that. So ball up. Right forward pocket for Euroa. Up they go. Brown gets it down to Marnie. They'll clear this out of the danger zone. Lawton's come up from full forward. But there's that player there in Ivel. Ivel, dual tackle there on Ivel. Taken to ground. Ball spills out. Comes down now for a free kick. He shrugged his shoulder, surely, but he gets the kick.
Thanks to the GMCU score update, Tat Echuka. The Bulldogs, 9-point leaders, early days, first quarter.
Good stuff. We called that that they were going to make a fist of it. Did you tip them, Stats?
I didn't tip Tatura, but I thought they'd make a fist of it early and then Echuka might kick away, so we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, so Guy Murray with the free kick, but he's been asked to kick over his mark. I think it's one of those peculiarities that we don't quite understand, do we?
No.
Do you understand that one, Stats?
No, I certainly don't, but I don't understand a lot of things in life.
Okay, so it comes back to Guy Murray. His high ball will be marked by Brereton. And he's not going to get any shorter either, the ruckman for Euroa. So Brereton goes across to find JD Hayes on centre wing. Hayes has nothing really in front of him, so he has to go back further off the mark before he unloads on that trusty left.
Gee, he's a lovely kick, isn't he?
And Jacob Gleeson did not let him down with the mark at centre half forward. The kick, though, inside 50, asked a lot of his teammate, but it was a good one because McKernan just slipped in.
He did,
behind
and
it.
Andrew Brown was tracking him. I'm not sure what he did there, Big Brown. He sort of just backed off and let the oncoming teammate have a crack, but he didn't. Uncontested mark in the centre, in the inside 50s for them. So Big McKernan, is he any good? Stats man with his set shots, Big Jack.
Yeah, I think he goes all right. Actually, I'll back him. I reckon he'll kick this.
Okay, he's only going to be 40 metres out. Not much of an angle.
Got it.
Umpire likes it.
Good call.
It is a goal, and it's the third goal to the Magpies, and a very, very good one to Jack McKernan.
Yep, nice finish. Tough to see from that. This where we are, the Sevens Creek end.
Yeah, and that's why watching the
Difficult
goal
angle.
The goal umpire is your guide on a lot of occasions. He just tilted his head back, his roof of his mouth just showing for all to see. So he said that's got to be good enough for us. It was a goal. Third goal on the board, 3-1-19 Euroa. Mansfield 2-1-13. Shep Optical Services scoreboard.
Lawton still in the ruck. So who kicks their goals? Mansfield.
I just think you need him up forward.
Yeah, I reckon too.
Agreed. Here is the player there in Gardner. Goes backwards to go forward.
Ooh.
But coming out really well was Jaden Howes. He gave it off to Reekers. Reekers inside 50. At the back, Brown. You just spoken. All his can gallop into an open goal. Will he kick it or hand pass? He hand passes. Gives it off to, and he kicks the goal. Klingon. Oh, what a
brownie.
Big brownie. made every post a winner. It was like the main straight at Flemington, the straight 6. He's gone the 5 furlongs, stats man, and then handed off to Klingon.
Well, that was the Richmond connection. Of course, Klingon was an ex-rookie at Richmond, and Brown spent some time at the Richmond Footy Club as well, and they nearly mucked it up. Brown nearly mucked it up. I still think he should have went on and kicked the goal himself, but it paid off for him in the end. Klingon got the goal in the goal square.
Hey, to keep your feet as a big man and to gather the ball like he did, Brown, outstanding.
Great game, 3-1 apiece. We're into time on here in the first quarter at Euroa, and it's 3-1 apiece on the Shep Optical Services scoreboard. You asked for it, we asked for it, and we've got it. A real close one for the match of the round on 1FM. Ball's back in the centre. Big Lawton does it uncontested, but roving it was his opponent, Ruckman, in Brereton. Brereton's kick. Frost turns around, sweeping hand pass to Bamford. Here's another quick shot on goal, Bamford.
No.
Misses to the near side and misses everything, I think.
He has. It's out of bounds on the ball.
Scores are still level. So, gee, they whisked that away. Brereton didn't go up in the ruck for the second time, did you notice, Kyle, this afternoon? And instead roved and sharked his opponent. Now, coming out is Reekers, who marks at centre-half back. Not a lot of movement for Reekers to really pass to, so he just goes a predictable down the line. Giobi's there, and so's Brereton. He marks. The Magpies back inside 50, but it will be chopped off again. And Reekers marks it back where it came from, in the pocket. So poor football on both fronts.
It's where they're getting stuck, the Eagles, coming out.
So Reekers again. Take 2. Coming out. Almost a mark to Marnie. There's Lawton, a beautiful hand pass over the top to Rose. Rose scoots away from Hayes.
Brown's on his own.
Shows a bit of pace.
No.
And chopped off, though. Comes over the top there to the player in Penman. But up forward. Oh, there's a free kick to Brown. He was jostled out of it, I think, as against Trotter. Brown with the free kick, and he will have a shot on goal.
And Euroa are not too scared to be physical with Brown early, aren't they? They've sort of come after him, but in a fair way. Yeah. But they've been quite hard on him early.
I reckon he's been the best on ground, Big Brownie. Going okay.
Going okay, so...
well, he's everywhere. A bit like MVD.
And putting his body on the line and copping the big hits too.
Yeah.
MVD.
Similar to MVD.
The face of Latrobe Uni.
Yeah. The man.
So, big Andrew Brown will have a deliberate shot for goal in red time. Scores are level. In comes the coach of Mansfield. Will kick from 35 metres out. Not much of an angle. In he comes. Steers it goalward. Umpire likes it. And that is now a 6-point lead to the Eagles.
Now, Andrew Brown can play. We know that he's played AFL with the Tigers, and he did really, really well in the Essendon District Footy League before he came here.
Yep.
He was a really prominent ruckman down there in a really strong competition. So can play. Looks pretty good up forward too with his set shot, and that was a nice finish for Big Brownie.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Lawton in the centre, Lawton in the ruck. If you've just tuned in, their full forward, Mansfield, has spent considerable time in the ruck while Brown has been at full forward.
And the height difference, Matty Ivel, you have a look at him.
Yeah.
There's not really much on Matty Ivel's side in that regard.
Height or width, yeah? Yeah, exactly. So giving away a lot of tonnage and a lot of height as well. Ball's back in the centre. Max Gleeson was taken when he didn't really have the ball. The anticipation tackle, always a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know your opponent's going to grab it, but until he does, you can't tackle him. So Max Gleeson with the free kick in the centre of the ground. Goes laterally, finds Trotter out wide. Trotter can unload now, and he does with a big bomb looking for Frost. And Frost marks 52 metres from goal. So this looks promising. Left foot by Frost is to the danger zone.
Oh, he's got it.
What a great mark by Jet Trotter. You don't mind. He has got half sidewards, half Superman seat grab, and then reeled it in off his ankles.
Yeah, it was a seat grab. That's what he looked like. He was having a seat on someone's head.
I've seen him take a lot of those types of marks across the journey. He's very good just sticking the Duke out and wheeling it in.
Yes, as he channeled a little bit of Toby Green. He channeled a bit of everything, a bit of David Carradine, a bit of Kung Fu, a bit of everything in it. Jet Trotter has the ball, set shot, this to square it up. He needs to kick it to make the scores level at quarter time, and he does. So 4 goals apiece to both sides. What an entertaining game we have got here at Memorial Oval.
Yep, nice finish. Always good to take a hanger or a half hanger and kick the goal. A much needed goal too, as you said. Approaching quarter time, Potsy.
8 goals in this first term, 4 goals, 1 apiece on the Shep Optical Services scoreboard. We are deep into time on. Can't be that much left in this first term, and neither side has, I don't think anyone's kicked consecutive goals, have they, Stats?
Yeah, they actually have. Mansfield kicked 2 consecutive goals actually twice this quarter, to be honest with you, Potsy.
There you go. Great. Make a liar out of me. I told you I was only guessing.
Thanks to the GMCU, Tatura, 16-point lead over Echuca.
Good stuff. German with the ball in the centre. Is there time for another one? Brown sets himself. No, he can't mark it. Taken to the ground. Marnie's there. Siren as Marnie has a shot for goal. How would it have bounced? Doesn't matter. It's inconsequential because the siren has sounded. And the Magpies 4-1-25. Mansfield 4-1-25. Centre. So that's not going to change. The coach of Mansfield's going straight to the goal square at the Sevens Creek end. And so we are all set for the second quarter. And we're looking forward to this continuing 4-1 apiece. Ball's in the centre. Lawton, Brereton wins it down. Varley's there for Euroa. His kick was smothered as he tried to get a clearing one. It comes back to that player in Varley. Varley to Panuccio. Panuccio inside 50. It comes and swings around there to Hill. Hill was taken to ground, mopped up by the Mansfield backs and taken over the line. Boundary throw in. Left half forward for Euroa, now kicking to the Euroa town end, and the scores are level if you've just joined us. So in it comes to McKernan, who wins the tap down. Now it was Hayes soccers off the ground, and did he soccer it out on the full? He did.
Potsy, off air, we're talking about horse racing. Now the great David Hayes is here.
Yep.
So if you need a tip,
yes.
Get me and I'll go and speak to Hayes. He's got the Western Bulldogs jacket on. Of course, his son Will involved with the doggies.
Correct. And if you can get a tip, let us know. We can let everybody around the audience know, and we'll firm it right in. Okay, the ball's on centre wing. The Euroa Magpies hand pass it not very convincingly, but they get it to Trotter. Trotter's chopped off though. It's Rose who kicks a high ball inside 50. Bit of a comedy of errors as players slip and slide. Finally, the hand pass comes across now to Gardner. Gardner to Rose on the left, but slipping over.
Big Brownie slipped over.
That meant his opponent was there for the mark in the last line of defence, and it was the player there in Frost. Frost's kick comes across now to Varley. Varley for Paradzai. Lets it bounce. Picks it up. Outruns Lawton, kicks inside 50. Giobi, no mark. Well done by the defence of Mansfield, and they take it over the line. Not on the full, over the line, and we'll have a throw in just next to the behind post here at the town end, where Euroa is kicking to, and so a boundary throw in deep in the forward line for the Magpies. So going up in the ruck there is McKernan and Lawton. Jobby is there, tries to get a kick, but it's smothered. Comes to Hill. Little toe poke wasn't effective. Pack of players around this ball, and 30 metres out from the Euroa goal. We'll have a ball up.
Where's the sun gone, Potsy? Gone.
Disappeared for the moment. There's Hill. Hill gives it off to Gleeson. Gleeson goes across to Frost. Takes it after a smothered. Frost has a shot for goal. Deep in the square, it's chopped off. Great defensive effort, and it's run through for a mush behind.
Very lucky there.
A mush behind and a rush behind.
Quickly plays on.
Yeah, plays on to Williams. Williams gives it across. Gives it across now to Howes. Howes gives it back. The kick waiting underneath it there is Marnie. Harry Marnie.
Oh!
Bit off the ball there, Christopher, and he has it taken off of him. That was just a show of raising the flag, but I didn't think there was much in that.
Gee whiz.
So, free kick Magpies, half forward. Here's McKernan. McKernan with the ball, kicked one in the first term. We're only 3 minutes into this second term. No, one score, one rush behind. Oh, good mark by Lawton.
Yeah, and guess where he is? The wrong spot of the ground.
Yeah, centre half back. So Lawton kicks across the face looking for Bartlett. Bartlett sits underneath it, then gives it back to a teammate there in O'Grady. O'Grady's kick is also a good one, and he finds Brown. This is Ross Brown off half-back for the Eagles. But it's flipped over. Panuccio gives it to Gleeson. Gleeson over the top to Hayes. Hayes to Trotter. Trotter from 50 right on the paint. High ball shot at goal is Lawton. There he is.
Oh.
Last line of defence. Marks in the teeth of goal.
Contested mark against a post.
And gives it to Rose.
Nearly Lee Matthews like at the wrong end of the ground. Lee Matthews obviously did that in the forward line, of course, and Lawton does it in the back line for Mansfield. Snapping the post, that is.
Brent Rose goes down the line. Kicks looking for, but chopped off. Varley marks it. So it is turnover football here. Varley with the ball below our commentary position. Centre wing here at Euroa. Varley's kick inside 50 in the Jobby direction, and he marks it. Good mark. Outpointed his opponent, Darren Williams, and Jobby with the mark. 40 metres from goal, 45 angle.
Yeah, well, thanks to AJ Motorcycles. They're getting on top in the clearances, Euroa, and they're getting on top in the 50-metre zones and the marks inside 50. All the KPIs are heading towards Euroa's way right now.
Strong set of hands.
Yeah, he's got a brilliant set of hands. Thanks to the GMCU, Shep Derby, Shep Footy Club 5-3-33, United 3-0-18. Thanks to the GMCU.
Jobby comes in for goal. Kick at goal. Left foot kick. It looks pretty good off
lovely,
the boot. It's a
lovely finish.
Absolute ripper. And it's through for his first goal of the match, the first goal of the second term. And Jobby gets his score on the board. They lead now by 7 points. 7 points on the 40-wing Shepparton scoreboard. It is Euroa now. 5 goals to 32. Mansfield 4-1-25.
Something about left footers and set shots, and Matty Lloyd was one of the best to look at, and that was pretty good from Giobbi. Very, very nice finish. Goalpost high, a little bit higher, sailed across the goal umpire's hat.
Just beautiful shape, left footers.
Yep.
The shape. And in the ruck, as Big Lawton goes out, and he wins the ruck tap out. And so the Eagles go forward from that. It comes down to the player in Howes. Howes gives it off to a teammate, but it's Herridge who turns it over. Now the Mansfield Eagles to Trotter kicks the ball. Sorry, the Euroa Magpies through Trotter kicks the ball up in the McKernan direction. He can't mark. I thought it was a mark, but must have been touched. And a ball up 55 metres from Euroa's goal. And they lead by 7 points. The Magpies lead by 7 points on the 40-wing Shepparton scoreboard. McKernan, beautiful flip over the back. Found his the player there in Gleeson. Gleeson, right foot kick. Bamford let it go. Stevie Milne just waited for it and shouldn't have, but here's Hayes. He pounces on it. Paradise there. Can he have a shot on goal? No, it's smothered. Good piece of work by the Mansfield Eagles. They go backwards, though. Another crack at it. This is Panuccio, but no penetration. Here's
Raffle.
Christopher Marks, last line of defence.
Geez, could have raffled that. 2 Eagles defenders.
I bet Bamford would have his time back again, mate. He hesitated.
It didn't look good.
Did not look good. Waited for the ball. Should have went in for the contest. Big Brown. He's come down from full forward. They've swapped over.
Yeah.
And
he's bogged for mine at the moment.
He's going.
He's getting around everywhere.
The kick is a bit of a half floater, half sort of humdinger, and a free kick on the play. It's going to go in the direction of Jacob Howes. Waste no time. Jacob Howes gives it to Herridge. Inboard he goes.
Switches on.
Herridge to Marnie. Paradise. It wasn't a good kick. Paradise will chop it off. Goes back to Hayes. Hayes now. Left foot penetrating kick. Jobby's there. Almost the one-hander. Can't take it. Should be taken over the line and is.
Now, if Jobby had marked that, Andrew Brown would have been very, very unhappy. As we known what he said at quarter time. Just don't let him do that sort of stuff. Hayes' kick. Another left footer. Geez, it looks really good in motion.
McKernan doing the ruck work in the pocket for Euroa. The ball's in dispute. It comes out now. The Mansfield Eagles do clear it out, and it's out to the outer side where there's a bit of pressure on for Klingon, and he does keep the ball in though, but the Euroa side chop it off, and JD Hayes takes the mark. Too far out to score. He's 80 metres from goal. Rose is there. Also Hill. All Eagles. They almost collide. Gee, they did. And they got in each other's way. Trotter comes in. Jet Trotter it is. And he gets legged and gets a free kick. What a comedy by the Eagles.
And they hurt. They really, really hurt you, particularly in games like this that are really close. You just need to do everything right.
Well, you just need to not run into each other as well.
It had a sort of keystone cop about it type scenario, didn't it?
Yeah.
They were both going hard at the ball, but just no communication. So it will be Jet Trotter. He kicked a goal in the first term, so he's trying to make it 2. We don't have a multiple goal scorer yet. Will this be it? Oh, it's a nice-looking left leg.
Oh, how good is he?
Kicked it all of 60 metres, and it is a goal. Jet Trotter, his second.
And he's their leading goal scorer this season as well, Jet Trotter, and he's been having a ripping year up forward. That's his 24th goal for the season and 2 on the afternoon. Of course, he kicked 1 in the first quarter and 1 just now in the second quarter, which has gone 10 minutes.
Yeah.
13-point margin. It's a game-high 13 points to the home side, Euroa. They lead 6-2-38. Mansfield 4-1-25 on the 40 Winks Shepparton scoreboard.
Very nice finish. Geez, we've seen some lovely set shots today.
And that's 3 on the bounce to Euroa now, and Mansfield really need to rein this in and get the next goal. They've only had the 1 forward entry for the quarter, Mansfield.
From the restart, Marnie had nowhere to go, and they'll reset for... Oh, hang on, here's the umpire's coming in to blow a whistle. Something off the ball he didn't
Marnie
like.
ball.
Marnie with the free. So the Eagles starting to get some worrying signs, so they need to make this forward thrust count. In the Lawton direction, he marks it. Lawton on the paint has marked the ball. Hang on. Umpire has reversed it. And it wasn't against Lawton, but it was against somebody else. So a free kick to Euroa in defence.
Thanks to the GMCU, Potsy, Benalla. They have a 25-point lead over Seymour at the moment.
Wow. Trotter, last line of defence. Ivel, Gleeson. Gleeson comes out to... player here in Frost. This is Bryce Frost. 2 Frosts out there today. Kicks it to the other Frost. So it's a double frosting. Runs onto his left.
And it's Frosty up here as well in the commentary box.
But in the centre-half back position, here is Brown. I'm talking about big Andrew Brown, who chopped it off. He kicks out in the Gardner direction. Gardner struggles to keep it in. Doesn't, in fact. And just some possession, some skill errors letting them down.
Yep.
That was just...
Ball seems flat, the way they're kicking it.
So it's a boundary throw-in. It's left forward pocket for Euroa. Big Brown slaps it forward. Marnie's in there. So too is Gleeson. Gleeson has a shot to the teeth of goal. Jobby at the back. No at the front. High tackle, free kick defence.
Yep.
And it will be the Eagles... through Bartlett. Bartlett's kick now. Goes across to Howes, Jaden Howes.
Rose.
Nice kick to Rose.
Gorney.
Yes, the little Max Gawn. the mini-me Max Gawn, who kicks. Lawton slips over. Ball centre wing. No one really wants it.
Oh.
No one really wants it, but Paradzai comes up with it. Trotter's in there. He looked for a free kick and got it. Well, he milked that umpire. He sucked you right in then, umpire.
Lawton,
he ducked the head and got the free.
I reckon should have got one. If we're paying those,
So Trotter with the free kick. Nate Trotter it is. Does well to con the umpire. Centre wing. Looking for movement. Just goes down the line. The kick. Fisted away. Marnie's there. If Brown's best of field, Marnie's not far away. Here's Rose, mops up, hand passes inboard, finds the player there in Murray. Murray gives it now the quick, scrubby little kick. Trotter can't sit underneath it, bounces over his head for Lawton. Lawton goes inside, comes down now to Bennett. Bennett gives it off now to the player in Marnie. Marnie kicks to the teeth of goal for the Eagles. Mark in the square.
Solid.
No, reversed again. Again, it's reversed. And again, they have one taken, a shot off goal, taken off of them. Euroa with the free kick, last line of defence.
Wouldn't read about it.
Come down to Benny Harrison. Harrison's kick, chopped off now. And now a free kick to the Eagles.
Jeez, the umpire's very trigger happy at the moment.
Jaden Howes it is. He's too far out to score. So Jaden Howes will kick it to the hot spot. Brereton's there. Lawton's there. He marks. Cop one on the mush for his troubles. And Lawton will finally have a shot on goal. Now, this should have been their third shot on goal in 5 minutes, stats man. Instead, it's their first. because they've had two taken
He's
off.
passed
Yeah,
it.
he's passed it on. That's all right. It's paid off.
Marnie. Little Marnie.
Little Harry Marnie.
Little Harry.
Eh?
Game number 2.
It's only very slight. It's his second game, is it? Second game it is, little Harry Marnie. And
I wonder if he's the brother of Brett Marnie.
Maybe.
Not sure.
very deliberate
Don't know.
steps, very deliberate steps. A skip and a step. Unloads, and they
Right.
like it. That's a
Get
goal.
around him.
Well
Look at
earned.
this.
Oh, they do. It must be his first goal.
It is.
The whole team has come forward for little Harry Marnie, who kicks what is inevitably his first game goal in senior football.
Yeah, nice finish from him, and good from Lawton too to spot up, notice that he was on his own. We know forwards like kicking goals.
So it's all happening, and it's come at a good time because they had skipped away Euroa. It was warning signs. It's back to a 6-point ball game now on the 40-wing Shepparton scoreboard. Euroa 6-2-38, Mansfield 5-1-32. So Lawton back in full forward. Brown back in
Brereton.
the ruck. It comes down to German. His kick was smothered. But here are the Eagles, and they get another kick out. Looking for Howes, fisted away by Trotter. Well done, Trotter. Ball in dispute. Now Marnie again. Oh no, it's Herridge run down,
Good tackle,
tackled,
Hayes.
holding the ball.
Very good tackle.
Been better in the second quarter, JD Hayes.
And
Too
the
slow.
closing speed.
Too slow, Herridge. Way too slow. Hayes' kick,
Good
as
kick.
you'd expect, it's an absolute superb kick to Hill. So Hill it is. The long sleeve, touched off the boot. Umpire called it as well. Jobby drops what he should have taken. Very lazy, I thought. Taken away. German had it stripped from him. Now here come the Magpies through Penman. Penman gives it backwards to Ivel. Ivel gives it across now to Varley. Varley inside 50, but it's 2 against 1, and it will be the Eagles Williams to relieve. Now he kicks to a dangerous spot. It was very
Mark.
dangerous. And this allowed Harrison, who's come down from defence, Harrison to have a shot on goal for Euroa.
Solid mark. Wasn't it?
Well, it
He
was.
got up high, but the kick was ordinary.
Kick by Williams, kicks to a contest across the face. So here comes Benny Harrison, 49 metres out. He's pushed it. Or has he? Wait on. He hasn't pushed it at all. It's gone through for a goal.
Brilliant.
Good stuff by Benny Harrison. That's his first. And I think we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goal scorers for Euroa. Score check,
Yeah.
Hollywood.
One in particular, Richmond, 23, thanks to the GMCU at half-time. They're taking on, we're into the third quarter of that.
So started early.
Yeah, 23.
Low
I don't know
scoring.
what's going on with me app, but anyway, 23 points up. And Carlton, 19 points up over the Suns, which puts the D's 17th, Potsy.
17th on the ladder. Can you believe it?
No.
12, 13 points the margin here at Memorial Oval. The Magpies lead it by that margin on the 40-wing Shepparton scoreboard. We're midway through the second term. So if you've just joined us, this is our match of the round. Euroa versus Mansfield. There's another duck that this time didn't get rewarded by the umpire. Kicked in the Williams direction. Nicely mopped up. Big Brown for Mansfield, who does pretty well to keep the ball alive, but now it's not alive because it's over the line and out of bounds. And it's left half forward for Mansfield, who need to come up with another answer, stats man.
Yeah, they certainly do. They've only had the 3 inside entries for the quarter, so they'd love to get another goal from here.
Okay, over the back it goes. Hill's there for the Magpies. Going to ground was Gleeson. Should have been, umpire said it's nothing, I'll ball it up. I thought he got the benefit of the doubt there, Gleeson, because he sort of landed on it. Sort of like slipped it in. Okay, Gleeson. It's Hayes it was. Hand pass really to no one. Herridge is there. Oh, Herridge got one high.
That's a free kick. Oh, wow.
No free kick. Varley came in while he was on the ground, kneed him in the head and got nothing for it. Play on, said the umpire, as the whistle gets swallowed. The kick goes inside 50 for Mansfield. There's Howes. He has it fisted away from him. Coming in now is Herridge, but socket off
Big
the ground.
ball this.
Yes, in comes Brereton. Below his knees, the biggest man on the ground, or second biggest. He does pretty well. And the pack forms and ball it up. 20 minutes in. 13 points. The Euroa Magpies lead midway through the second term. Up goes the ball. Brown and Brereton taken by Gleeson. This is Maxi Gleeson. Kicks it. It's chopped off. Chopped off by Bartlett. Bartlett goes across the field. It's marked there by Ross Brown. Ross Brown through centre half back. Yes, nice kick it was to Marnie. This is little Harry, who kicked his first goal in senior football just moments ago. Harry kicks it to, we presume it might be his brother Brett. We're only presuming. So Brett Marnie.
Oh, someone will let us know.
Someone will. So Brett Marnie, he takes his time, sums it up, gives it off to Bennett. Bennett gives it back. Oh, danger. They've gone backwards one too many times, the Eagles. They're under pressure. It comes out now to Ross Brown. Oh, nicely done. And Ross Brown's kick finds a teammate. They'll kick inside 50 now, looking for Howes and also Brown. Howes will set himself underneath it, but he's tackled and wrapped up by Trotter. Magpies will get out of trouble, or do they?
It's nearly holding the
play
ball.
on, said the umpire. Back it comes. Here goes Rose's big kick. Will land in the square and be a goal.
Goal, Gorney.
Waiting on the umpire.
Little Gorney.
It is, it's a goal. Little Maxie Gawn kicks it. We're talking of Brent Rose, who's the Maxie Gawn lookalike.
Yeah, the ginger Max, but no, good goal.
Goal.
Lucky that he was able to just float across. They're back in it. They are the Eagles.
They're keeping this
7-2-44, you're right. To 6-1.
And I've liked Brent Rose's game today, of course. Like we said a little earlier, he came across from Cora Rutherglen with James Lawton this season. And like I said, he's got that rugby background. He's a fierce tackler and he gets in front of the packs as well. And very dangerous around goal, and a nice kick and a nice snap by Brent Rose.
Yes, it certainly was. And they just... the Magpies can't slip them. They keep getting out to a 13-point lead. Scores were level, of course, at quarter time, so they've made inroads, Euroa, but Mansfield keep coming. Here's Brown, and Brown over the top, does the ruck work and does it nicely. Taken Varley. Was he without the ball? Dumped he was. Brown's kick was chopped off, although Heritage might be in the gun here. He gives it to Marnie. Marnie wheels on the right foot, will kick a high up and under. Too much to ask of Lawton. It'll just bounce. Lawson does keep it in. Play on. Gets the releases the hand pass now inboard. Comes to Bennett. Bennett misses on the near side, and that's a blemish. I believe that's the first miss this afternoon, Statsman. I believe the other two scores or three scores have been rushed.
Yeah, I think you may be correct.
So Bennett with the first miss of the day. Oh, good mark.
Plays
Great
on.
Mark playing on as Bartlett. Bartlett kicks goal. When he goes
Finish.
marked by Marnie on the line.
Yeah, it's a goal. It'll be a goal to Marnie. Won't miss this.
Absolutely. Well, what a great
Marnie.
display.
Bang.
So Marnie with his second, and the Eagles have landed again.
Yeah, they have.
Just out of nowhere, but gee, I've loved Bartlett's game this afternoon. He's been down back and he's been taking a lot of intercept marks. He come running down on that wing on that occasion, and it looked like he was going to kick the goal, but Marnie got it of the Brett variety course on the goal line and kicked the goal.
And they're all doing it. Riding shotgun is Ross Brown, also Jaden Howes. The three of them, as you called it, and Bartlett, are working overtime. They've been under a bit of pressure.
Scores level, boys.
Look at that, 7-2
very good
on the 40 Wing Shepparton scoreboard. What a game we've got here at Euroa. If you're listening to this, stay tuned, because this is a veritable elimination final. As Gleeson comes away, takes it away to Hill. Hill goes inside 50. No mark taken. Taken to ground, and umpire will ball it up, and it will be a ball up. Gee, that was a quick, clean takeaway by the Magpies. It was Jaden Gleeson. Ball up. Big Brown gives it, taps it to Rose. Rose on hands and knees. Umpire said no chance, and I'll ball it up once more. So, scores are level here at Euroa. 44 apiece. Late into the second term. Brown comes down to German. German just smashes it forward or out of the danger zone from defence. Big tackle taken there, and umpire said no prior.
Thanks to the GMCU. Now, fellas, sit down. 50-point lead to Benalla over Seymour. Can you believe that?
I can.
I certainly can. Probably not the margin, but I can. I sort of thought Benalla were a big chance of beating.
Right, the hunt now, the Saints.
Well,
they're right in it.
Someone said on the drive over to Euroa that they couldn't believe Seymour was in third spot. Who was that?
Well, both of us. Like, more to the... I agree.
Waiting. No one nominates as the ball gets spinned back into play. A whistle on it.
Probably not can't believe, but more so surprised. But
Margin,
yeah,
Kyle.
The margin.
Yeah, the margin's a surprise.
No, but Seymour third.
Yeah.
Yep.
You like that? Is that...
I like that, Kyle, yeah. Just like you text me on occasion. Yeah, I love it.
Stats, I thought you had a lot more to say about that.
He likes the Lions, Ori.
Brown.
I like their pizzas, so I want to be able to go back into them at Seymour.
I see, an ulterior motive. Big Brown marks under the Dicko Bree scoreboard here at Euroa. Gives it off to a teammate. Kicks inside 50. And, dropping what he should have taken was Marnie. A rare blemish by Marnie. And he spills it over the line and out of bounds. 54 metres from Mansfield goals. Scores are level on the Dicko Bree scoreboard. 7-2-44 apiece. If you've just joined us also, the Magpies honouring their 69 premiership and champion sides of 69 for seniors and thirds. And Lawton comes out and takes a mark. And
Big Lordo.
Gee, he's marked only 35 out.
Can kick it, or should.
He didn't before.
No,
he gave it away.
He did.
And unselfishly, I don't think he'll do that this time, Kyle.
Yeah, for a player of his quality, just 45 metres out on goal, he should really be kicking this one, James Lawton.
This for 41 stats of the year.
Okay, so 7-2 apiece. 40 Wing Shepparton scoreboard. Got the close one here. Stay tuned for all the other scores in GVFL football and AFL around the grounds with GMCU in just a moment. But here's James Lawton. He comes in now. Kick on its way. A goal umpire hits the post. Goal umpire did not move and just watched it slam into the post for a behind, and a chance goes begging. Lawton should have kicked it. It was a soda, really.
Yeah, that was a Christopher Columbus, that one. The ball was flat.
Yep.
So without a goal is the leading goal scorer for Mansfield. Magpies traverse it. They get it down to Jobby. Jobby, the quick transition.
Oh, that's a free. No.
Play on, said the umpire. Oh, Parrot's eye was taken heavily. Back to Jobby.
He saw.
Left foot, hard on the boundary. McKernan, no, out of bounds. Out of bounds on the full. And the Eagles, no. Behind. And so a behind to Jobby. And the kick comes into Herridge. So Herridge with the ball goes wide to Rose. Called his name a few times. And Rose just kicks down the line. Looking for Howe. Oh, good mark taken. Should have been by Klingon, but no, paid. Over the top, Reekers can't reel it in.
Well, why not?
Why not?
For Klingon. He's coming off. Hang on, we've got some... Oh, geez, we've got a couple of head clashes here. Euroa boys, very sore.
Very bit of claret already, so...
We're all over that.
Yeah.
Geez, there's claret everywhere here. All over that young man's head.
So head clash, and umpire has called for the blood rule. It's 7-3-45 apiece. We're into time on here at Euroa. Been an entertaining game. We've seen 14 goals scored in this first half. And so far...
Geez, there's a lot of claret.
In fact, we thanks to AJ Motorcycles, the scores have been level 6 times for the afternoon.
So does that mean we've had 6 lead changes?
Yes, it probably does.
Excellent.
Let me just get the abacus out and check that.
So just a hold up in play here at the moment.
Haven't caught who the player is as he gets back up.
It's not Gleeson, or it's not Hayes. So I'd say it would be Jacob Gleeson.
22.
Unless it's Braden Frost.
No, Gleeson will roll with.
Okay, so he'll be okay.
Yeah, have a look.
He's just copped a head clash, and the head does tend to bleed a little heavily.
Yeah, Gleeson. Jacob.
Where is the ball? Free kick, is it? No, it's a boundary throw-in. In all that, I forgot what we were doing. And as the ball comes spinning into play, Marnie from the stoppage. Gee, shows some scoot. He scoots away and gives it to Rose. Rose's kick, though, will bring snow. It comes in the Howe's direction, but it was easy fodder for Trotter, who fisted it away. Comes to ground. Pack of players in after it. They dive in after it, and nothing doing. Centre wing right in front of our commentary position. We're late into time on here in the second term. 45 points apiece. and both sides desperate for a win. Could there be a draw this afternoon, fellas? Because the way it's been going, it's very desperate stuff. The Magpies come out of defence through the player there in Garside. Garside's kick, though, wasn't a great one. Paradzai is wrapped up in a tackle, and he is the recipient of a ball up. So Brown, and who's he going up against? Hayes? Oh, no, Brereton's there. So the combination, Rose trapped it like sticky fingers, and he kicks it inside 50. Lawton's there, beats one, beats two, takes the mark. He's 52 out from goal. He can't kick that far. Howes is there, and Howes is, surely he was penalised. Not penalised, comes back to Howes, is tackled, tries to spin out of it, goes backwards. Bennett's there. Bennett's long raking kick at goal will bounce out of bounds. No, 4 behind.
He's Howes, very unlucky. So hanging on.
He was infringed.
Yeah.
So Bennett, he's missed 2 also. So that's the 1 point. That 1 point is all that separates them. The Eagles lead by the barest of margins here as the ball comes into Jet Trotter and he marks on half-back flank. So Jet Trotter, can't be much time left in this second term. The 40-wing Shepparton scoreboard, it's Mansfield by a point. Called to play on is Trotter. They muck around with it. Goes one way, goes another. Hand pass over the top to Panuccio. Back to Trotter.
Wheels.
Goes around one. Over the top to Gleeson. It's stripped from him. This was Jaden Howes who did the intercept. Gave it to Marnie. Marnie's hand pass went back to Howes, but over the line. Out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. The Dick O'Brien scoreboard looks magnificent, doesn't it, fellas?
Yeah, it does.
In honouring one of the legends of the Euroa Football Club. The ball comes spinning back into play. Brereton, Brown, Hill with the clearance inside 50 for the Magpies. Jobby, hands in the back. That was clear cut, and that's clear cut for the siren as the scoreboard reads Euroa 7-3-45, Mansfield 7-4-46. 1 point lead to the Mansfield Eagles. For the Magpies in the centre. Third quarter about to get underway for Marupna Golf Club scoreboard, and Big Brereton, he wins the tap down to Gleeson. Gleeson, though, on hands and knees, can't escape. Brereton dives back in after it, but the umpire will now come in for a secondary bounce. 7-3-45, Mansfield 7-4-46, 1 point the difference as round 14 about to unravel. Here is German. German releases, gives to Marnie. They're going the wrong way, though, so Marnie has to wheel and go and give it out into the Gardner direction. Gardner waits for the bouncing ball. He hand passes backwards to Lawton, sidesteps, does nicely. Lawton's kick is a high up and under to half forward.
No.
Good body work. Play on the kick inside 50. It's a one-on-one. Big Brown at full forward. He dishes off his opponent in McKernan. McKernan does well, though. Ivel hand passes across now. They're not out of trouble. Pouncing on it. There is the player in Chisholm. But Chisholm's ball is chopped off last line of defence. And that would have to be Gleeson with the head bandage. Would have to be?
Yes.
Gleeson it is. So it's Jacob Gleeson, head bandage because he had a head clash late in that second term. Ball comes out. Here's Rose. He's done well for the Eagles. Rose kicks to the hot spot. Here's Brown.
Big Brownie.
He's marked it.
Jeez.
20 metres out. And gee, Rose is becoming something of an influence today.
Little Gawny.
Little Gawny he is.
He's very hard to stop, Brown, isn't he, when he's like that, full stretch.
How do you? Yeah, how do you?
I reckon Matthew Ivel down back's trying really hard, but he's got the height advantage of both Brown and Lawton. Just you put it up, set it up on their head like that, they're going to mark it 9 times out of 10. Yep.
So Brown from 20 metres out, the coach has put himself out of the ruck and into full forward. He's kicked one in the first quarter, comes in, 20 metres out, kick on its way, and it's through.
Got it.
First blood to the Eagles, and they go out now to a 7-point lead, and that's their biggest lead of the match, stat man.
Yes, it certainly is, and it's 3 on the bounce to, of course, the Eagles. And, look, they'd want to sort of arrest this situation, Euroa, early. They don't want a quick inside 50 to Mansfield and them kicking another one, because then they'll get their tails up. They're full of run at the moment too, Mansfield.
That's his second, Big Brown.
They've come out firing, and this so far is working, fellas. Lawton to the ruck is working so far. Can they go on with it? So the lead now is 7 points on the Marupna Golf Club scoreboard. 7 points the margin. The Eagles lead, but we have had a seesawing battle. 7 lead changes this afternoon. The scores have been level at quarter time and 1 point the margin at half time. So we're about to see what's going to unfold. Where are the Magpies? Have they come out? Have they left a little bit asleep after half time? Or do they have a response? Here's Brereton. Nice tap down to Gleeson, though, but it's in the glue pot in the centre, so he can't escape. And the umpires plucked out a free kick, or is it? No, it's just a secondary bounce. So up they go. Lawton wins this one decisively, but it's Panuccio who gets it over to Hayes. Hayes is on the wrong side, so he doubles back onto his left. Paradzai overruns it, and here's Rose again in defence for the Eagles.
He's like our man.
He is the everywhere man. Brent Rose for the Eagles. Kicks in the Lawton direction, got underneath it. Perhaps tunnelled a little bit, but play on. The kick goes up to the half-forward line. A lot of Magpies there, but so too are the Eagles. Ball was stripped away in the contest, but Howes does well to get it to Marnie. Marnie doubles back. Now the kick, it's a one-on-one again. It's Big Brown. Well done, Ivel.
Yep.
He's socketed away as well, but it's going to come back in because the ball is going in the Howes direction.
Oh,
and how's that
mark.
for a mark in the forward pocket, diving full stretch. And
thanks to William Adams Ag, Jack O'Grady has come off the ground with a quad that is heavily iced. So that's a corky or a bit of a twinge, Potsy. You probably wouldn't think he'd be back today. Keep an eye on Jack O'Grady.
Ice is not a good sign. And Tyler Chisholm, right forward pocket, shot on goal, 43 metres out. It's curling beautifully.
Got it.
No. Umpire has called a behind.
It looked like a goal to me from here, but the umpire's in a better position, fellas.
Wow-wee.
Clearly.
I was marking it down.
Looked a nice shape about it, had everything going for it, except for the nod from the goal umpire. So the Mansfield behind goes on the board as J.D. Hayes kicks them out of trouble. Brereton flies high, can't complete the mark. Christopher's in there, a tackle on Trotter, ties it up right below our commentary position here at Memorial Oval, which sees an 8-point lead to the Eagles. The Eagles 53, Euroa 45 on the Marupna Golf Club scoreboard.
Oh, Lawton, bring it.
Soccer off the ground by Lawton. Goes inside 50. Howes comes out to meet it. No, it's Herridge. Herridge kicks to the hot spot. Here's Brown, protects the drop zone and marks. Gee, did that well, the big fella. Just shoved off, protected the drop zone, and then lunged at the last minute.
How good does he look as a forward? Big Brownie.
Looks great.
Just strong.
Just the height, you know.
But the strength on that occasion, Stats, was to hold off and protect that drop zone.
Well, he gets in front and he stays in front. He gets in front of that ball and gets in front of that backman. You just can't stop him.
It's really good coaching from himself to put him there because he knows that they don't have a tall backline, the Magpies. And he said, no, I'll go back and have a shot for me third.
Yeah, he's been exploiting that smallish backline of Euroa, hasn't he, Kyle?
Yep, he got that. Oh, that's come back. Oh.
It's a difficult angle to see from here, isn't it? Because that looked like
that was a goal, Potsy.
It looked like it swung, but obviously after the post.
Wow.
Another behind. So that's Brown kicked 2 goals, 1. And we had young Chisholm missing his one also. So a few chances go begging as the ball comes in.
The crowd's with me.
Yeah.
Their supporters are going, that was a goal.
Yeah. It's clearly got to be the angle from here. Because the goal umpire can't be wrong ever.
No.
Panuccio through centre half forward. Frost is there. He kicked the first goal of the match, and it will be Braden Frost who will line up for goal 40 metres out. Yeah, we can see members of the crowd sort of the hand signals and the gestures are saying, I thought that was a goal.
Yeah.
But not to be. Scores now as we wait for Frost to come in. This will make it a 3-point ball game, so it's 9 points to margin. All important. Braden Frost comes in for his second goal. He sort of poked at it, but it looks okay from the goal umpire.
Got it.
He says, he waits, and he says, it's a goal.
Yep. Crowd Just very quiet, aren't they?
Crowd has been hushed here at Memorial Oval. 3 points the margin on the Marupna Golf Club scoreboard. Euroa 8 goals 3, Mansfield 8 goals 6.
Too easy from the defensive line on that occasion. All the Mansfield players are just flat-footed and just going coast to coast, and at the end of the day, just straight up the middle of the ground, and a great mark to Frost and goal.
Thanks to the GMC score update, Swans Marupna scores are level.
Whoa.
Can you believe? They had a fair lead, the Swannies.
They did. They certainly did, Kyle.
Yep.
Oh, well, they're back in at the Cats. You're never out of it. Brown's back in the ruck for Mansfield, but this is taken away by Gleeson. Jacob Gleeson inside 50. Paradzai. The mark didn't stick. Oh, look at Rose going well. He stole it from Paradzai and turned the ball over. Ball is on the deck. Play on, said the umpire.
Good tackle
on Bamford.
Doesn't want it.
Nothing. The umpire said nothing. The play on. Frost comes out to meet the bouncing ball. A collision is imminent here as they tackle. They go to ground and a ball up 45 metres from Euroa's goal.
Bamford bit ginger after that tackle.
Yeah, and hasn't had a lot to do with this game.
Hasn't had a touch, I don't reckon.
Nah, Marnie's scrubby kick goes backwards, but it's Williams who's looking for it. Oh, maybe tackled when he kicked it. Should have been incorrect disposal. Umpire said play on. Kick from the pocket. He's kicked a miracle goal. And
who is it?
It's Matthew Ivel.
He's gone down forward by the looks of the clock.
He has gone down forward, and Matthew Ivel has snagged an unlikely goal from deep in the pocket. How about that?
Yeah, very good.
Well, I was looking at him and I thought, that looks like Matthew Ivel, and I waited for the number to make sure it was the number 23, but I couldn't see I couldn't believe what I was seeing him up in the forward line.
Well, he's staying there, isn't he?
Yep.
He's staying there, so that's been a move with Big Brown going to the ruck, Lawton going to full forward. Ivel has gone to the forward line in the switch.
Yep.
So that has created the opportunity. So Brown putting himself back in the ruck has cost them a goal. How about that?
It hurts.
It does hurt. So ball's back in the centre. It's a 3-point margin. Kick comes out in the Mansfield direction. Bouncing ball. Socket off the ground by the Magpies, and it'll all be Mansfield here. Heritage ducks and taking the ground.
Tackle.
Good tackle. Play on to the umpire. Rikas is in there. Oh, push and shove.
A push there.
Yeah, I did not see that, but ball up is the adjudication.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a nice little shove from Hayes.
Ball
One-sided.
up. Centre wing. Brown wins it.
Brown.
Oh, comes straight out here and taken beautifully by Rikas. Rikas is kicking the house direction, but Trotter's there in the last line of defence for Euroa. The quick little kick comes out. Here is Klingon. No, you can't hold on to it, Klingon. So the marker's dropped. Free kick. A scoop.
Ball.
Yes, an incorrect disposal. So here's the kick by Jaden Gleeson.
Hands on Paradzai. No, too slow.
Panuccio it is. Panuccio gives it, looking for Paradzai. Sticky fingers. Paradzai marks it. And so he plays on quickly. But Brown's there. Brown's there for Mansfield.
Kick it to the tallest bloke on the ground.
Dropping into that hole and kicks it out here looking for Rikas. Rikas it is. Marks it on halfback. Running player there. Now for the Eagles is Jaden Howes. Kick to his brother. And his brother gets a free kick because he was infringed upon, and umpire said take him back on the mark. Jacob Howes it is. He's still not going over his mark, umpire, so if you're going to be pedantic, play on. Play on, and the mark is taken by Rikas, and Rikas with the ball. Half forward flank. Is he kicking over his mark?
Yes.
Is he?
From this angle.
Angles are hard.
Yeah, from
Angles
here.
Angles are hard today.
Especially that end.
Nice kick by Rikas. It'll go to the danger spot.
Oh.
Fell over. It's not the first time he's fallen over, so if he's staging for something, it's not forthcoming, James. You fell over of your own volition, and it's through for a rush behind. Benny Harrison. Kick in.
Yeah, you got to keep your feet as a forward, don't you, Potsy?
Got to keep your feet as any player.
For sure.
As soon as you go down, you're out of the contest. Here comes Benny Harrison. His long kick out of defence is a ripper for Paradzai, but who's there? Rose. Rose to the occasion. Gave it off to Chisholm. Chisholm gets it across and a kick inside 50. Here's Lawton for another crack at it. Goes to ground. Comes down to Rikas. Left foot snap around the body. Bouncing ball chopped off by Trotter. he just really didn't get enough purchase on it. He should have done better. Hill, smothered kick, comes backwards. They get out of trouble, and Danny Harrison with it again. So Harrison now to Hayes. In fact, I think it was Garside. Down the line, down centre wing. Ball's with Gleeson. They pounce in on top of him. And ball up. Centre wing. Beneath the newly unveiled Dicko Bree scoreboard, which reads, it's a 2-point margin. Euroa leading by that 2 points. We've been playing 14 minutes into this third term. Brown wins the tap, but it's only boundary side, so it goes over the line. So 2 points the margin here in our round 14 match of the day. Magpies lead it. It's been impressive. They got out to 7 points, I think, the Eagles.
Thanks to William Adams Ag. Just having a look at Jack McKernan. Looks a bit ginger. He's on the pad getting a rub. It might be that knee. Yep, getting some stretches on that left knee, boys. I'll keep you updated on that one.
Updated on that one. Thanks, Hollywood. As the ball's on centre wing. Eagles with the ball. Klingon it is. Back to Klingon, the old 1-2. Left foot kick by Klingon. In the Lawton direction. Has to beat 2. He flew high. Here's Marnie. Marnie tracks it back, but Trotter's there. As customary. Last line of defence. Danger ball. Here's Bennett. Bennett.
Goal.
Bennett. Goal. The opportunist Bennett, and he has brought it up after 2 behind. Alistair Bennett has kicked his first of the afternoon, and now the Eagles take the lead again.
Yep. How many lead changes stats are we doing that?
Are we doing
this
lead
quarter?
changes stats? I figure it's about 8.
It's about 8 or 9, I can tell you that much. It's been level 7 times today.
Yep.
Level
scores. That scores.
Yep.
That is, of course.
Yep.
Thanks to AJ Motorcycles.
Absolutely. So back in the lead, the Eagles lead by 4 points now on the Maripna Golf Club scoreboard. Mansfield 8-7-61. Euroa 9-3-57. Ball back in the centre. Brown and Frost. Frost actually won this one. Beat Brown to it. The Mansfield Magpies get it out now. Hill with the scrubby little kick towards Jobby, but beautifully taken by the Mansfield defence. Howes is in there. House's kick. Or was it Marnie? Towards centre wing. Fisted clear. Howes for Mansfield. That was a cleverly disguised fist towards the boundary. And it was deliberate, but it wasn't deliberate.
Thanks to the GMCU, the Maripna Cats 5-point lead over the Swannies.
I like Jacob Howe's game today, Kyle. He's done a couple of really nice little 1%ers.
Both Howes have been good, I reckon.
Yeah, they're units. It's 2 houses. Okay, so...
oh, no.
Marnie with the ball from the stoppage. Can't clear it out, and we'll have another ball up. Been playing 15 minutes, 4 points the margin. Mansfield leads, beautiful tap down, Brown to Marnie. Marnie evades one tackle, then goes out wide to Reekers. He can't take it, the Magpies turn it over, and Garside with the ball. You can hear in our effects mics the call of ball, but what it didn't tell you was that he had no prior whatsoever and was never going to get pinged Garside. He was tackled as soon as he got it, and so we will have another ball up. An entertaining game here at Euroa. So in comes
that's in the back. Everything's going on there.
And another ball.
Big Brownie.
Big Brownie doesn't like
not
the
happy.
attention. Does not
That's
like
nearly
the
a free
attention
kick.
at all. And lets his opponent know.
Angry man, Brownie today.
Yeah, absolutely. So any free kick whistle blown, it's going Euroa's way. Frost. So Brayton Frost has kicked 2 goals this afternoon. 1 in this third term, the first goal of the match, and now he finds himself in the ruck up against big Andrew Brown. His left foot kick is a high ball. Here's Brown! Takes an absolute hanger in front of our commentary spot. Beautiful mark to Big Brereton. It was all set up for him. He goes inside to Trotter. This is Chet Trotter. He's kicked 2 goals. Brings the crowd alight here at Memorial. Jobby, left foot, pumping ball. Bamford marks 40 outs. How do you like that?
Shocking kick, but it paid off.
And he hasn't had the best of days, Bamford, but we do know, like we said at half-time, he's a leading goal kicker of this Euroa Football Club, has kicked a lot of goals in the journey, and he's the type of bloke that can have 3 or 4 possessions on the contest, but kick you 3 or 4 goals, Kyle, in quick succession.
Ageing legs, though. Do you think ageing legs will carry the 45? I mean...
How many games? Approaching 400.
Yeah, so he's going to kick from 43 metres out. He's directly in front. And we'll see how the veteran does go. The kick is straight. The kick's on its way. It's cleared the pack in the goal square, and it is a goal. So Bamford gets his first, a crucial one as well. They're all crucial when there's been 9 lead changes for the afternoon. So Euroa now go on to 10 goals, 3, 63, a 2-point margin over Mansfield, 9-7-61, Maripna Golf Club scoreboard.
Yep, and that's a lovely finish. We've got a good game here. Really, really good game. It's going to be unreal last quarter too if it continues up the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the midfielders today have worked really, really well, I think.
Frost.
Oh, big Frosty.
Out of the centre. Giobbi doing the roving. Gleeson turned over. Now Clingan to Bartlett. Bartlett with the outside of the boot. Goes and finds Lawton on centre wing. Lawton's kick inside. Not a particularly good one. Chopped off by Ivel. Over the top by Garside. Garside now to Hayes. Hayes kicks into the centre of the oval. Bartlett should have got the free kick. Yes, he does. Didn't have the ball. And a free kick will go the way of Bartlett. Bartlett goes across the ground to Jaden Howes. Has room and space. Jaden Howes goes down the line, deliberately looking for the young fella in little Harry Marnie, but he's turned inside out.
Dropped it.
He did well, Harry Marnie.
Yeah.
He got it back again. Should have been his free kick. Here's Bennett up there looking for Brown. Comes out to meet it, can't mark it. Now Chisholm, he's in there. The Magpie defence under pressure, but they get out of trouble with a good tackle. And a free kick will go the way of, is it Harrison? No, it's Garside. Garside now gives it across to Trotter. Back pocket. Nice pokey little ball. Finds the teammate on right half-back.
Thanks to William Adams-Ag. Just having a look at Jack McKernan back on his feet. He's got a really bad cork, but he looks to be okay. Another injury update.
Big fly Hayes. Can't mark it. Panuccio. Takes a bounce. Panuccio. Takes another bounce. Shows the ball. Kicks it inside to Hayes. 53 metres out from goal.
Gleeson.
Plays on again. Gleeson, you called it. Hollywood. 50 metres. They've gone no closer to goal. Giobbi. They've still gone no closer to goal. They've gone from the 50-metre arc all the way around. 4 kicks. And I guess they fancy the full forward being the better option right in front of our spot.
Take a fair kick, this one.
And boys, Jet Trotter sort of limped off the field, looked very proppy. That's big for Euroa.
Yeah, he did.
Can't take his place. But I think he'll come back on. He just looked a little bit proppy and sore. They'll work on him.
This is to be a bit of a mini game breaker. 2 points up. Euroa to go 8 points. They were down 7, so a 15-point turnaround. Every point counts. The lead's been level 8 times. Here's the Giobbi kick. No, not going to make it, but who can mark it? Can anyone mark it? No, the Eagles' defence, they clear it out through the player in Stefanuti's kick was cleverly done. Here's Rikas. Rikas steps inside, then out into the Howes direction. Jacob Howes turns on a dime. Does pretty well. The good kick was smothered. Smothered now. Froster's in the gun. He kicks up to full forward. Coming out to meet it there. All Eagles, though. They chop it off. They work hard. Here's Howes in defence. This is Jaden Howes. Over the top there to Harry Marnie. Harry Marnie to Rose. Rose's kick to no one in particular out into a vacant centre wing, and that's where it will trickle and bounce and roll out of bounds. Entertaining 2-point margin on the Maripna Golf Club scoreboard. The Magpies lead by 2 points. 10-3-63, 9-7-61 the Eagles. Ball's back into play. Centre wing. Lawton dispossesses his opponent in Frost. The kick goes inside and almost inside 50. And now it's thumped in there. Here's Brown, but doing pretty well is Ben Harrison. He jumps on the ball. Williams is there too for the Eagles, and he makes sure that ball is not going anywhere. Trapped inside 50. Ball up. We're playing over 20 minutes. Ball's in the Mansfield forward line. Brown taps it down. Good tackle. Good tackle on Gleeson, but he did release. Comes to Marnie. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Right on the paint is Marnie, with the Eagles trying to go into attack. Trying to claim back that lead, which has changed 8 or 9 times. Oh, beautiful tap out. There's a whistle. And
Big Brownie.
Big Brownie.
Yeah, he got it.
Could have nilly paid
Infringement.
advantage, then.
Yeah.
So
Go long.
Brown has 2 goals, 1. He would have to kick this 58 metres for it to be a goal. I fancy not. He probably thinks otherwise because he's lining up very deliberately. Now he's going back again. Called to hurry up. So he kicks now from 58 metres out. The ball on its way. It's offline because
Out
of going for distance. He gave away accuracy out of bounds on the full.
He never looked confident lining up for him. He's too far out for him. He's right on 50, just not getting the distance.
So I think he knew it too.
Thanks to the GMCU score update. Shepparton 9963, Shep United 5535. All over, you'd pretty much say Benalla, or at Seymour, I should say. Benalla 10-10-70, Seymour 4-2-26. 6-point lead to the Swans over the Cats, and Echuca doing it very easy over Tatura, 67-45.
So the ball's still trapped inside the Eagles forward 50. Gleeson with the head bandage gives it across to Bamford. Bamford's hand pass back to Gleeson. They're in a bit of trouble at the moment, the Magpies, struggling to clear the zone because here come the Eagles again as this kick is chopped off. A runner falls over in the mud. That was pretty funny for a second. Brown's up at full forward. He can't trap the ball. Can he pick it up? He goes to ground. Umpire says, I'll ball it up.
No.
Play on. Now I'll ball it up.
Oh, have a look at the runner. Needs a shower.
Yeah,
Oh.
He gives the wave, gives the crowd a bit of a nod because he went A over T in the middle of the ground. It was
Not happy about it either.
No. Okay, ball's still a stalemate. It's still trapped inside Mansfield's forward line because pretty much there are only 2 players forward of the centre for Euroa.
Yep.
So it means we've got 34 of them, all pretty much inside 50. Late into the term, we're into time on now. 2 points the margin. Ball's just sort of raked over. Oh, here's a kick off the ground. Is it Rose? I think it might be. It's kicked a goal.
Gorney, is it?
No, actually it was Chisholm. Chisholm has kicked the goal to make up for the one that we thought he kicked earlier. And now the Eagles hit the front again. Another lead charge, Stats, man.
Wow.
This is what you dream of, this sort of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if I dream of it. But, it's
What do you
Chisholm
dream about?
in this third quarter. He's been quite lively, hasn't he? He's kicked the 2 goals. I've got him down for a 1 goal. Is it? He
One.
kicked 1-1-1.
Yep.
Sorry, that's
Tyler.
right. 1-1. Beg your pardon, folks. But yeah, he's been quite lively up in that forward line. I think he must have spent most of the first half on the bench.
So 10-3-63, 10-7-67. 4-point lead on the Marupna Golf Club scoreboard to the way of the Eagles. The lead changes hands again. Red time it is. An important goal to get if they can get it. Oh, there's a free kick surely going the way of Herridge. And he was held when he didn't have it. He was coming through at a rate of knots and was slung before he even took possession. So Herridge. Oh, he's gone the barrel.
Oh.
He's gone the barrel, which has ended up a bit skew-if, but it might be dangerous. Brown!
Big Brown!
Marks the ball. It was a danger
A bit of a
ball.
knee. He's going to he's reversed it.
He's reversed it.
Yes, absolutely, because you know why?
Tell us.
He need him. He need him while he was down, Big Brownie. That is very silly play.
Gee, they've cost themselves about 3 goals this afternoon, Mansfield. They lead by 4 points. The Mansfield Magpies. Oh,
a free
beautiful.
kick.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a free kick. Absolutely free kick. I don't know why.
well, the ball wasn't with intent, you reckon? I mean, he only bumped him in the side.
A bit angry there, Mansfield supporters.
Get Trotter back on the field.
Christopher, that ball travelled 14.5 metres
Well, they've cost himself a goal, really. Brown.
several times.
Yeah.
So Ivor, he runs into all sorts of trouble. He's gone. Holding the ball, surely umpire.
That is holding it. Oh!
This place is about to erupt.
Comedy
You've just joined
Central
us.
here.
It's 4 points the difference. Both sides playing for a spot in the finals. Stakes are high here at Euroa. And it's absolute knife's edge stuff here. Don't go away. Lawton, the big slap out of the ruck. Comes down to Rikas and also Gardner. Gardner does well, does Garside. Now Rikas gets the hand pass backwards for the Eagles. Little soccer ball inside 50. It's scooped up by Brown. Ross Brown out of defence for the Eagles. Ties it all up right on the 50 and we will have a ball up.
They are lucky. How that wasn't holding the ball. Oh, wow.
Don't you
Anyway,
love football?
move on.
This is what we love. A tight contest. Stakes are high. Spirits are high from both teams. Here comes Benny Harrison out of defence, takes a bounce and then kicks long in the Frost direction. Lawton's over the back. And also in there is Williams. He gets bumped off it. Can the Magpies get a late one? Howes. His tackle. His hand pass over the top. Here's Rose for the Eagles. Is that an incorrect disposal? No, play on, said the umpire. Comes back to Williams. Centre wing ball. Whistle. Free kick, Magpies.
Whoa, three-quarter time.
Wow, wowee. What a quarter, what a game of football here at Euroa. 1FM match of the day. It is a 4-point lead to Mansfield. Mansfield 10-7, 67. Lead Euroa 10-3, 63. We'll take a break. We'll collect our breaths and we'll back with the all-important last quarter after this. On the central umpire to get play back underway, and we will have this fourth quarter decided. I'm going to pick it, fellas. I'm going to pick that there's going to be another 4 lead changes in this last term. Let's see how we go. Mansfield in front by 4 points on the Darrell Twitt Motors scoreboard. The great Volkswagen Amarok 580 edition scooped out of the middle straight away by the Magpies. They kick it forward. A foot race is on. Right on centre wing. Panuccio's there. He soccers it forward a little bit further for his advantage, but now, well, tries to take it over, but then tries to keep it in. Now it's out.
Player down, boys, for the Eagles. Who is that? Number 1.
House. Jaden House.
He looks a bit ginger. He looks okay. He's coming
Shin.
off.
Copped the one in the shin, I think.
Cop one.
Need the magic spray. Brereton comes out, wins the tap, roves his own ball, but then gets wrapped up in a tackle. So, might be more
he's
than
looking
that.
at the hammy.
Might be more than that.
Bit of a ham.
Thought it was a knock to the shin.
Maybe a cramp.
Magpies kick inside 50. Out comes Jobby. Worried out of it, though. Worried right out of the contest. The Eagles do well. They've done well in defence today. Both defences have done well, haven't they?
Yep.
For both sides, defenders on both teams. And we mentioned that a couple of the defenders for Euroa have kicked goals. Harrison.
It's been a great hit out, really. An old-fashioned game of footy.
Been a ripper. So here's German. He's all wrapped up.
Looks okay. House.
Looks all right.
Bit ginger. Walking it off.
He'll be right while he's still warm anyway. Here's Rikas. Rikas taken to ground. You heard the crowd. They said ball.
Oh, that's nearly a free kick. Lucky.
Umpire's not going for any controversial free kicks.
No.
They're letting it go. They've been fairly consistent.
Yep.
We may have been a little bit critical today, but they've been consistent and they're in charge. So hats off to them. We can't have a game without our great umpires. Without umpires, it would be very, very ordinary leaving the captains to make the decisions.
Correct.
Kyle, wouldn't it?
Very.
So as much as we get a little bit animated, a little bit excited about decisions, umpires do a great job. We take our hats off to them. So boundary throw-in. Been playing just a couple of minutes. Eagles lead by 4 points. It's all on the line. There's a whistle on the play, and the umpire has called it for a ruck infringement, and it's going to go the way of Big Brereton.
Big Jacob.
For Euroa. So the Magpie ruckman will kick them inside 50. Looking for Gleeson. No mark. Taken to ground. Pack forms. You know what's going to happen from there. You can almost anticipate it at home. It is a ball up. 40 metres out from the Magpies' goal. The shadows, well, there's no shadows anymore because it's all just shade as the ball gets taken to ground. Big Jobby. He takes his opponent to ground and we'll do it all again.
Thanks to the GMC, 1 point ball game at Princess Park in favour of the Cats.
Good stuff. Great game there going on at Princess Park. Both sides haven't celebrated many wins in 2019, so one side is going to be enjoying tonight. The ball goes back up. Big Lawton in the ruck. He doesn't have an influence, and it was the player there in Bartlett who was taken to ground. We will ball it up again inside the Magpies 50. Lawton will do the ruck work. It looks like Ivor will do it for the Magpies, but it's defensive side. The Eagles have the ball. Here's Paradzai, though, taken out of bounds by Rikas, and this time we'll have a boundary throw-in. So at least we're mixing it up. 3 ball ups inside 50 and 1 boundary throw-in now. Right half forward for the Magpies. Ball comes spinning into play.
Good
does
tap.
well, taps it over the back. Here's Bamford, has a shot at goal. Will it bend back?
That's a goal!
Will it bend back?
Got it!
It is! Bamford has his second. And the lead has changed again. Euroa now 6 points on the board, takes them to a 2-point lead. And we have another lead change, 10 for the match.
And like I said, in the first half he was unsighted, Bamford, but he doesn't need a lot of possessions to do you damage, and that was a great goal. And how often have I seen that in the Go Tape Golden Valley Football League across the journey? Craig Bamford snapping goals like that inside forward 50.
Very good. Very smart, knows where they are, and they're back in front now, the Maggies. Potsy.
Front by 2 points. Lead changes again. Marnie's in there for the Eagles. So too is Varley for the Magpies. But it's Lawton who won it out of the middle. Now the kick inside 50 for Mansfield. Oh, well chopped off. No, the mark's not completed by the Euroa defender there in Penman. And play goes on. Now it's over the top now to Frost. Frost gets it over on his left, on his right. Kicks to Ivel over the head of Ivel, so it'll come back in again. But now
what a mark!
Penman. An absolute slips catch.
Strong hands,
and Penman saves the day. Gives it to Garside. Garside goes over the top to Benny Harrison. Harrison kick, Gars a bit of his teammate there in Hill, but Hill doesn't let him down. So right back flank is Hill. Left foot kick. In front of our commentary position. Players set themselves. Free kick off the ball. It will be Trotter. Play on advantage. Advantage it's given to Bamford. Bamford
on his own.
All alone at home.
Who is it?
Too far out, though, is McKernan. Jackie McKernan.
Back him in. Back him in here.
You back him?
Back him.
I'll take it back. I take it back. He's not too far out to score at all.
It's not a bad little angle, this.
He's wide. He's out wide. But this to make it an 8-point lead to the home side. The Magpies, the kick on its way. That's through. So they extend their lead. And Jackie McKernan has his second for the afternoon.
Important goal.
Wow.
That's a very, very good kick.
And guess who was involved in the score involvement? It was that man, Craig Bamford. He didn't get a lot of possessions in that first half, but since half-time, he's been sensational up forward. He hasn't had a lot of possessions, but he does something with it. He's kicked 2 goals himself on the afternoon and involved in that score involvement on that occasion to, of course, McKernan.
Yes, great call, Stats Man. Ball's back in the centre. Here's Brereton and Lawton. Ball eluded both of them. Here's Gleeson. Kick goes up, high, half backwards. Panuccio can't mark it.
Shocker.
Overrunning it was Howes, who had the dodgy hamstring, and I don't think it's much better. Here's the kick for Ivel. Ivel gives it backwards to Hill. Hill goes wide and deep into the forward line for the Magpies. Trotter can't keep it in.
Just look like they've got a bit more run, the Maggies.
They do.
At the moment.
They do. They're looking the most likely 5 minutes in on the Darrell Twitt Motors scoreboard. And that beautiful Volkswagen Amarok 580 edition. What a ride it is.
Smooth.
It's a smooth ride. And the Magpies lead by 8 points. Ball comes spinning back into play. Here is German. Deliberate as you like. But it lands on the paint.
Deliberate up.
And it will be a boundary throw in. Centre wing below our commentary position. 8-point lead to the Magpies 5 minutes into this last term.
Either that or nearly out in the full. Potsy?
Now you've got to ask why a bald man would have one of these in his pocket.
No. Hair clip.
It's just
interesting.
Interesting stuff. Okay, so the ball is spun back into play. Hill gives it to Panuccio, slips over. Panuccio, Gleeson. He slips a little bit too. Collects his own ball. Gets collected on the way through. Hill gets taken. Frost eludes. Varley's there. They work it back. Ivel's there. Ivel's kicked to Bamford. Marks on the centre square.
He's done an injury, Bamford.
Big hand pass across the top there to Penman. Penman, Jobby! There's Mark. Joey in the forward line for Euroa.
He's back up, Bamford. Geez, I thought he'd done an Achilles or a calf.
25 metres out, Jobby. This 8 points, will 14 points make it game high, Stats Man?
Yes, it will make it a game high. The game high was to Euroa in the second term. They got to a 13-point game high during the second quarter, thanks to AJ Motorcycle.
All over at the G. The Tigers will win. Potsy.
Good news, yes, that's good to hear then. Excellent. I wouldn't know. I haven't been looking at the scores.
No.
Giobbi, 25 metres out, no real angle, left foot kick on its way. Goal straight through the middle.
Good luck catching them.
2 goals on the board, 14-point margin now on the Darryl Twitt Motors scoreboard, the Volkswagen Amarok 580 edition scoreboard. Euroa now out to a 14-point margin. How about that?
Yeah.
And that's his second goal on the afternoon. He's been quite lively. Of course, he started down back earlier in the year, and then they switched him up forward, and he's been a great player for him. Of course, they picked him up from Noble Park in the off-season, Giobbi, and he's been a really good player for them in 2019, Euroa.
I reckon. He's just replaced a bloke by the name of Patrick Karatzis last year.
Okay, the ball's back at the centre.
One of your faves.
Was one of my favourites, yes, he was.
There's,
gun centre back, Kyle.
Yep.
So a secondary bounce in the glue pot that is the centre of Memorial Oval. And up they go. The ball's bounces on the head of Howes. Reekers gets it backwards, but it's to the advantage of his side. Frost goes in with courage, but it was actually Chisholm who was taken off the ball. Rose wants advantage. No, nothing doing. Free kick to Chisholm, and centre wing will have Chisholm. So the Eagles can go forward here. Nice kick it is into the centre. Finds the player there in Klingon. Klingon in the centre of Memorial Oval. Just going to kick it long and straight to centre half forward. Lawton now. Lawton!
Oh, got it.
What a grab!
What a mark.
45 out. Lawton's taken an absolute catch.
Oh, vice-like hands.
And Brown here has a bit of a laugh because the two big men got in each other's way, but it was Lawton that had the run and jump at it, and he grabbed it with a vice-like grip, Stats man.
And you've got to get it in long and quick into that Mansfield forward line, and if you do that, they have every chance of getting a score. Lawton needs to go back home this moment and kick this goal to keep his season alive and his club season alive for Mansfield.
Okay, so in he comes. Lawton, right foot kick. Looks okay. Looks good. Oh, what an absolute ripper. And he has got it through the middle. And so Lawton has his first of the afternoon. Would you believe it? His first of the afternoon, because he spent the majority of time in the ruck for Mansfield. And that brings it back to an 8-point ball game. We're not done with yet, Kyle.
No, we certainly aren't.
And he's the man that they've got to leave up forward now, because he's the one that's going to kick your goals that are going to win this contest right now. He has to stay forward the rest of the game, and Mansfield have to get it in quick to him. There's
the call from Statsman, and he's right, because Big Brown is in the middle for Mansfield. 8-point ball game on the Darryl Twitt Motor scoreboard. What a tap out straight to Marnie. Marnie's bouncing ball along centre wing will be there for Reekers. Trotter chops it off. Well done. Paradzai tries to gather when he should have just picked it up. Rose shows a bit of courage, shows a bit of ticker, but he's taken the ground and a ball up.
Yep.
Round 14.
That height difference again, they've got to expose that with Lawton.
And Gleeson, yeah.
Oh, have a look at it.
If you've just joined us, this round 14 match of the day. 8-point ball game to the Euroa Magpies. They lead, but we've still got about 20 minutes of football left. Free kick to Howes.
High.
Been in the wars today,
popping everything.
And
sore neck.
We'll get the free kick. So Jaden Howes it is. He looks a bit groggy. He's been in the wars. He's got one in the neck. He's done a bit of a hammy, but he's kicked it okay. Kicks it in the Brown direction. Fisted clear by Frost. Taken by the Magpies, but there's no numbers there. Half back flank, half forward flank for the Eagles. Heavy tackle.
Jeez.
Heavy tackle.
Oh, they get around hazy. The crowd.
They do.
One of the faves.
Out of bounds. So it is left half forward for the Eagles. About 65 metres around from their goal. Nice crowd here at Euroa too. Up goes Big Brown, slaps it back, but here's Gleeson, here's Giobbi, long way from home. Hill marks, an instinctive mark it was, so Hill on centre wing. Kicks it long, it's a bit of a floating sort of ball. Oh, nice attempt there by Christopher. Good tackle also, because Trotter was wrapped up and going nowhere. Ball up. This is right half forward flank now for Euroa. And we have been playing 14 minutes into this last term. 8-point margin. Paradzai, Gleeson, kick high up and under. Hill is in there for the Magpies. Christopher taken to ground, and Christopher will have the ball in his possession as he gets up for a ball up. Umpires to ball it up. 75 metres around from, and we've got another blood rule.
Yeah.
Christopher, it looks like, was trying to run out of the area. Did you see that one?
Yeah, Lockie.
Yep, was trying to run out of the area and escape the attention of the umpire. The umpire said, "You've got a bit of blood on you, mate. I think you need to go off."
Claret.
Well, just a bit of a split lip. Something one of your siblings would have given you in the backyard.
Yeah.
Kyle, no doubt.
No, I don't have any.
Don't have any. You gave yourself a split lip, did you?
Yeah.
There you go. So here's German. German's hurried little kick. Centre wing for the Eagles. Coming out, little Harry Marnie.
Yeah.
Gives it to the other Marnie. I'm talking about Brett. Takes a bounce.
There's a pass.
Takes another bounce. Hand pass over the top. Over the top there to the player in Brown. Ross Brown taking the ground. Oh, good tackle.
Oh, gee, Paul.
Oh, holding the ball. Great stuff.
Oh, what a save that was.
Who was the tackler?
Oh.
It was Garside.
Yep.
Garside for Euroa has saved the day. JD Hayes now centre wing. That could be a game-saving tackle by Garside. The kick down the line now finds Brereton. So now they've transitioned Euroa, and Brereton 70 metres from goal. He's going back as if he's going to have an attempt to kick the goal, but of course he's just going to kick it long. Looking for Jack McKernan, can't mark, and over the line spilled for a boundary throw-in. That was their chance.
Oh, what a tackle.
They're unlucky too, Mansfield. The two forwards sort of ran into one another on that occasion and allowed Garside, who's having a ripping second half, to get that tackle and affect that kick outside the defensive 50 for Euroa.
So German has the ball in defence for the Eagles. Kicks down the line, looking for his coach. Fisted out of his grasp, but it was picked up again by Klingon, whose kick along centre wing is now taken by, guess who? Garside. So hasn't he had a bit of a role to play? Chopped off by Reekers was Garside's kick. Reekers now is tackled and taken to ground, and the umpire will have no choice but to ball that up. So score check, 8 points the margin on the Darryl Twitt Motors scoreboard. We're halfway through this final term.
To the GMCU, 8 point. Is that a red card? Oh no, sorry, it was a ball. 8 point lead to the Cats over the Swans.
Okay, so coming out, the Eagles from the stoppage in the Trotter direction. He stoops
There's
and he
goal.
picks it up.
There's a goal.
He arches the back. He kicks over the top, and Jackie McKernan marks just 3 metres out.
Bit easy again.
It was. And Jack McKernan will line up for goal number 3.
3 for.
3 for the afternoon. He's only 3 metres out, so he should steer this right through the middle. And the Magpies look to have all the answers. 2 in this last term, 3 for the match, McKernan, and they're back out to 14-point lead. There's still time. Don't write the Eagles off yet, but Euroa seem to have all the answers.
Well, I just reckon they're spent, the Eagles. We see them come off, they're directly in front of us, and they're spent. A lot of them have ran, it's a heavy ground out there, so they're using their legs a lot more. And who's that off now?
Yeah, that's Reekers.
Again.
He's done a power
He's
of work.
done a power of
Beating
work.
the wars.
Yeah, they just might run over the top of them.
Now, good
Maggies.
call, Kyle. It will take an absolute massive effort here for Mansfield to pick themselves up. It's possible. It's only 14 points. Modern football doesn't take much. JD Hayes in the middle, though, for Euroa. So too Brereton. Back to
again.
Hayes. Out to Paradzai. Who just needs the ball to sit, but it doesn't, because here's the player there in Bartlett. The outside of the boot, he kicks it along, and there is Brereton tapping it right over the line.
Deliberate.
And umpire's paid deliberate. Oh, never lived to see the day.
Oh, he done the fist. He done the...
Brereton's been pinged in front of the Euroa crowd. They don't like it, but I'm telling you,
It was deliberate.
So Marnie with the ball kicks it down. There's all Magpies there. So with 2 to beat is Howes. A bit of aerial ping pong. Herridge takes a tackle on Varley.
Oh, he's all over him.
Solid tackle
Headlock.
too. And Herridge enjoyed that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He enjoyed that tackle on Barley.
Little pit bull.
Oh, it's getting serious here at Memorial Oval. 14 points the margin. Magpies have the answers. Mansfield showing a lot of spirit. Ball there with Rose. He's gang tackled. It's like a rugby game. Ball up.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of these, I reckon, the last 10 minutes.
I think so. Brereton and Lawton. Big fist to little Harry Marnie. Hayes is in there, just hovers over the ball, doesn't really do much more. waits for the cavalry to arrive. Brereton, Bamford, he's tackled and holding the ball, Bamford.
Wow.
Play
Big
on,
ball.
Chisholm kicks inside 50, but it's all Magpies, and they mark in the last line.
And look at their main forward, number 44 here. That's not where he should be.
No,
Lawton.
no, what's he
Got to
doing
play
there?
deep. He's in the ruck.
So Harrison it was that chopped it off. And they're just going to soak up minutes on the clock here as I speak. The little chip from Trotter to Harrison. They've gained no ground. Last line of defence, but in control. Leading by 14 points. Kick along the wing. Big Brereton spoils his own teammates there. But it was effective enough to see it over the line. And we're 19 points in. 19 minutes into this final term. It's a 14-point lead to the Euroa Magpies on the Darrell Twitt Motors scoreboard. The great Volkswagen Amarok 580 edition. A beautiful ride, and the Magpies are having a nice ride towards the final siren at the moment. Ball spinning back into play. Lawton goes up. In fact, two of them went up. And that's what the commotion is all about. The Magpies players saying, how can you have two go up in the ruck? Stoppage, confusion, talking in one-word sentences. And no, in fact, after all of that, it was the boundary umpire didn't throw it in deep enough. How about that? Lawton and Frost, and should be a free kick to Frost. He was infringed by Lawton. So Frost for the Magpies. Hand passes sideways to Jobby. Jobby drops the ball, but is able to gather it again. And chopped off now. So Williams it is for the Magpies. Comes out to the player there in Bartlett. Bartlett's kick down the line.
Oh.
Frost got up high enough for Frost, but he didn't complete the mark. Ground bathed in sunshine now. Here's Varley. Varley on his left. I don't think that's his preferred by the way he kicked it, and marked in the last line now by Brown. Ross Brown it is. They'll need to do something, and they do. They switch it. Here's Jaden Howes for Mansfield. No one at all to kick to. He just kicks out wide to a one-on-one. Great mark taken by Bennett, Alistair Bennett. He'll have to wait for players to get back. Danger ball. Parrot's eye with the fist. Comes down now. Hand pass to Marnie. Now back to Bennett. Bennett with the outside of the boot. It's a mark. 49 metres out.
We might need Marky to call here in a minute.
Here's Lawton.
Potsy.
Lawton plays on. Runs into an open goal. Lawton, and he has put it through. The Eagles aren't done with yet. Goal to Mansfield. 8-point ball game. We've still got about 7 minutes left. How about that, Hollywood?
Oh, gee, how about that?
What a ripping game of football,
How long left,
Kyle.
Marky?
I reckon there's about 7 left on the clock, Kyle. There's still plenty of time for Mansfield to keep their season alive. It's also plenty of time for Euroa to do the same. But what a ripping contest. It's got everything. It's hard, it's fast. They run through the clinches, and it's just a fantastic game of football to be watching. And the skills on show this afternoon for a winner's Saturday have been absolutely splendid.
They have.
Ball is back in the centre now, and, well, they need 2 straight kicks to win it. But what a clearance now as Big Brown wins it. But Gleeson sharks it for the Magpies, and he kicks it out of the danger zone. Oh, but a nice juggling mark is taken by Klingon.
Got to move it.
Oh,
50.
Well, he went to play on, and the umpire said, go back.
No.
Go back, and, gee, it's either play on your court or it's over the mark.
We're
50.
fogging up in here, Potsy.
There's a bit of heat in this. So Klingon goes wide to centre wing. Oh, nice mark taken there by Gleeson, Jacob Gleeson.
He's got a hold to play now.
He does. So Jacob Gleeson, he's all bandaged up. A clash of heads in the second term, but it didn't deter him. Here's the kick, finds Hayes underneath the scoreboard, the Darrell Twitt Motors scoreboard, and also the renamed Dick O'Brien scoreboard. Hayes. Oh, nice kick to Jobby.
Yep.
So half-forward line, they're just taking their time, the Magpies, with an 8-point lead. Yeah, just trying to ice it a bit. Joby's kick is a long, high ball. No mark taken by Trotter. Over the back now. They get it out of trouble. Here's Reekers. He's still going well, Reekers. Reekers' kick out in the Rose direction. Rose was infringed, and a free kick to him. So the Max Gawn lookalike, Brent Rose, he's defensive side of centre wing, runs around, plays on, runs around the man on the mark, and his kick will go to half forward. Oh, Brown was blocked. Play on. No, said the umpire. Frost gets a scrubby little kick. Ivel's in there. He's taken the ground. Oh, holding the ball, Ivel. What prior opportunity? He had none. He had none.
Play on, Putty.
The kick inside 50. Lawton! He's marked it.
Big
Mark by James Lawton,
Now,
40 metres out.
Plenty of time. Plays on.
Oh, he sent us a ball to Ross Brown, but it's marked by Chisholm.
I'll tell you.
Oh, what a game here at Euroa.
I'm not sure why Lawton isn't backing himself in.
Well, the angle, he's
Got
dead
the
in
angle,
front.
but
The
this
angle's
is big.
definitely better for Chisholm. Chisholm to make it a 2-point ball game. He comes in now. The kick's on its way. Chisholm got it. He kicked it. And it's a 2-point ball game. 2 points the margin. We've only got minutes left, and Chisholm kicks his second of the day for the Eagles.
Oh, what a set shot. Talk about clutch.
Pressure.
Oh, pressure.
14 goals, 3. 87 Euroa. Lead Mansfield. 13 goals, 7, 85, and that's on the Darryl Twitt Motors scoreboard.
Yeah.
How long, stats man?
I reckon there's still about 4 or 5 to go, boys. So I still reckon there's plenty of time.
They've dropped right off. Euroa, right off.
How do you do? Ball back in the centre.
Big
Brereton
ear.
and Brown. Here's German. He can't quite pick it up, but he does now. He kicks inside 50. Oh, nice mark
good
by Penman.
Solid.
Hey,
Penman.
the Penman for Euroa has just calmly gone back. Gives it backwards to Trotter.
Chip, Potsy.
Yeah, well, we can either go one of two ways. It's going to soak up time or it's going to bring forward pressure.
I reckon there's plenty left.
Yes, there's the kick. Brown sits himself underneath it. Fisted clear. In there is German. He's
Here
been
we go.
influential. German kicks it inside 50. Taken by Gleeson. His kick is chopped off. In fact, it was smothered and the umpire will come in and ball it up. 40 metres around from the
we'd
Mansfield
love to
goal.
know how long
Look
left.
at the body language of the Euroa bench.
They know.
Look at the Euroa bench's body language. It's got anguish all over it. Here's Brereton. Good tap out by the Magpie ruckman.
Jeez, it's
taking the
footy.
ground. It is a scrap now in the forward line and minutes are ticking off. Play on, said the umpire. Hand pass comes out. Jobby's in there. Play on. The ball was a kicked out deliberate. No, the umpire can't pay that one. So it's a throw in. But this might clear the area.
Oh, there's tension. There's tension everywhere.
There is a stack of tension. The ratchet has gone right up.
Yeah.
Here's Brereton and Brown.
There it is! They've won the Magpies!
The siren.
won.
What a classic.
What a win.
What a classic round 14 match of the day. The Magpies home by 2 points. Gee, that was a short last quarter. It doesn't matter.
How many goal stats, man?
There was 7 goals kicked for the quarter.
7 goals kicked for the quarter, and how long did we go?
We went 26 minutes.
Oh!
So the Magpies have gone up by 2 points in an absolute rattler here at Memorial Oval. Euroa, 14 goals, 3. That's right, 14 goals, 3. Immaculate kicking, 87 to Mansfield, 13-7, 85. 2-point winners in an absolute crucial game here at Memorial Oval. We're going to take a break and we'll be back on this side.